stream. Why are you not showing up yet? Should be streaming. Maybe. Video will play after ad. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. Go away. Okay. Messages. All messages. You guys behave, okay? Did you want out your colors? And I know you like your sunshine. It's a little bit warm in here today. Maybe I'll open it up later. Let's see. Hello, Sea Bunny System. Welcome to the stream. Doing well enough. If everybody could please let me know if it sounds good enough. Sound check. Can you hear us? Hopefully our tablet won't wig out on us this time and we'll actually be able to pay attention to the chat log without zooming into the camera. Which apparently is dead set on zooming in and out. Okay, good. Live chat. It's all good. Microphone. Won't let me choose a resolution. Okay, well, we'll have to make do. So we'll see who trickles in here. We didn't announce the stream like we normally did, just completely forgot about it. But we do this on the last Saturday of every month, so as you longtime viewers know. So we'll give it a minute or two to kick in. I really wish I could stop that from focusing, auto-focusing on us. It's annoying. Oh. Well, all right. Hello, Sea Bunny System. Looks like it's just, well, no, there's 4 of y'all here. Everybody say hello. If you want to lurk, that's fine. Welcome to those who might be joining us for the first time. We do these live streams on the last Saturday of each month, generally, unless we state otherwise. Not sure how long the stream today will go. We're kind of tired. Is that a Bastet statue in the back? Well, not officially, but yeah, that's the purpose that it serves there. I assume that you're talking about that one right there. I'll bring it over here. So not directly Bastet, but she makes a good end piece to Anubis who's sitting over there. So that's the purpose she serves anyway. Kind of heavy, actually. You know, could probably somebody upside the head with that. Yeah, actually, the other Bastet stuff is out in the living room. Actually, we have 2. What the heck would you call them? Bookends, I guess, and an incense burner, and we've got a great big tapestry up on the wall of Bastet because cats in the house. So she allows her children to be part of our life, and you know, we take care of them in return. So yeah, just kind of a wall full of our stuff. Everything has its own little meaning, but that's incredible. You should sew them sometime. Yeah, if everything wasn't all set up, I'd take you for a walk there, but maybe we'll do some still shots later. We've always liked Egyptian stuff, Art Nouveau, Egyptian, been fascinated with ancient Egypt. Blah, blah, blah. The tongue's still not quite awake yet, so forgive us if we stumble. You just gonna lay there, huh? Yeah. We're talking about you. Well, kitties. It's flickering up, flickering down. We probably should have put out an announcement yesterday. Let's see. Well, I don't see why not. Give me a second. We'll go show you the other stuff. If we can do this without crashing the stream. I hope. All right. Give us just a second. All right. So there's one of the pair. So you can see we've got them flanking there. There's our little incense burner. And ouch, running into the coffee table here. There she is on the wall. Hey, buddy. To leave that cracked. Actually, one of our kitties, he hurt his paw about 4 days ago. So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, no problem. Our house is rather dull. So, well, I mean, the living room there is kind of in the pseudo Art Nouveau Egyptian-ish British sitting room style. It's only been recently now that when you have kids in the house growing up, you can't really invest in good furniture or a cohesive theme because kids are hard on furniture. Really hard on furniture. So we've been waiting till they get out of school and move on to their own before we're able to actually decorate in the style that we want. And even so, it's still kind of an eclectic hodgepodge, but we've only recently hit that point now with our youngest daughter starting college, and she's been in there for a semester now, doing real well. So maybe we'll be able to get, more of a cohesive theme, as it were. So yeah, you're welcome for that. There's the air conditioning, thank goodness. It's a little warm today. Here it is. It's almost November 1st, and it's still like 80 degrees outside. It really sucks. We'll see how many people trickle in here. Okay, it looks like he's going to stay up there, so I'm going to go ahead and shut that door. Step on my glasses here. Okay, so 3 of you it's showing, 1 of which me, so that means there's 2 of you out there. Good morning to the 2 of you. Let's see if I can lock this into place. There we go. Okay. So how's everybody doing this morning? Hope your days are going well. Hope you had a good week. Ours has been all right. Like I said, about 4 days ago, one of our cats, Colby. Whoop. Oh, goodness. Grief. Come on. Go back. There we go. Let's see. Pardon if it's rude to ask, but I was curious, is Mimi excited for Halloween? She strikes me as the type to adore the holiday. No, it's not rude to ask. Ask anything that you want. We'll go over the rules here in a minute, but wait till more people trickle in. Their Majesty, hi. Just catching up. Nearly missed this, so as we were gaming. Yeah, no problem. We didn't announce it like we normally did. Their Majesty. It's just it's been a busy week, and we kind of forgot to announce the stream like we normally do. But last Saturday of every month, you guys know that, or should. Well, you know now. Anyway, no, it's not rude to ask their Sea Bunny system. You can ask whatever you want if we're not comfortable in, in the question, we'll let you know. So far, there hasn't been much that we haven't been comfortable answering. Sorry, I need to fix this just a little bit. Mimi does like Halloween. It's one of the few times then that we can dress up. The trouble is that we live in an area that's not very big on Halloween. There's a very strong. We avoid talking about politics and religion when at all possible here on the channel. It's just one of those good manners types things. But we live in an area that doesn't really embrace Halloween or the Halloween traditions or things like that. So while it's like, so I'm afraid our Halloween activities are kind of limited to spooky movies and popcorn and whatnot here in the house. There's just really not a whole heck of a lot to do. But she does like Halloween. Actually, one of the first times that she fully fronted was Halloween several years ago. And she enjoyed that. But yeah, unfortunately, Halloween's just not what it used to be when we were her age. Things get really wiggly whack with time when you're a system. But she's pretty quiescent right now. It's kind of been stressful lately with trying to find the job and getting our mental health clinic switched over and whatnot and everything that goes along with that. I'm just going to tilt this down just ever so slightly. There we go. Yeah, that's much better. So we really haven't had. It's one of these things where if nobody else is doing Halloween around you, there's really kind of not much point to it. And once your kids get past the trick-or-treating stage and whatnot, and into their teenage and then a young adulthood, there's just, it kind of just falls by the wayside, which is unfortunate because it was one of our favorite holidays. One of the few holidays that we have that isn't connected to trauma in some way, shape, or form, or at least not that we've dug up yet. So I'm not sure if excited would be the proper word. We've been watching some spooky movies and whatnot. It's like, was it yesterday we were watching Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein because AMC, or was it Turner Classic Movies, had that on and we had nothing better to do, so we were just watching that. And let's see, we watched, before that we watched, there's this creepy, obscure Disney produced film called The Watcher in the Woods from early 80s, and it's kind of got that whole 70s, early 80s aesthetic going on, kind of their Return to Witch Mountain era in through there. But we ran across a channel on YouTube who, it's one of those where Disney doesn't release it and really hasn't released it and really has no plans on releasing it. So he managed to find a copy of it off of a Blu-ray, and apparently there was some editing that went on, because when they first released it, it was only in theaters for a couple weeks, and people just absolutely hated the ending. And they went ahead and they pulled the film and reshot several parts of the ending and then re-edited it and re-released it. But what this creator had done was to find the edited bits, and he went ahead and put together a supercut, which restored the original ending. And they remade it in, I think, 2017. But this is we're talking about the original. And it's definitely got a really creepy vibe to it. Horror in the 80s hit different. I mean, yeah, we were the age of, John Carpenter and Cronenberg and all the body horror and stuff like that. But a lot of the 80s horror was more psychological. It was like, oh my God, this might just actually happen type of thing. We can't quite quantify it, but it hits differently. And this was one of those films. So if you get a chance, check it out. Just while you're on YouTube right now, just go into the search bar and type The Watcher in the Woods, and it'll pop up. It'll be one of the first ones. It'll say, complete fan edit thing. Well, I think it's called Twisted Puppy is the name of the channel, or Disgruntled Puppy, something puppy. So you'll know what to look for, and give it a watch. It's a really creepy little film. The ending still does kind of go off the rails a little bit, but it's really good up to that point. It has Bette Davis in it, and in one of her last starring roles. It's a shame, really, that they didn't give her more to do with the film because she's a great actress. But yeah, if you're looking for a creepy Halloweeny type scary movie, go check that out. So yeah, I'm excited, but not really excited. Just kind of movies and in the house type stuff here. Okay, so let's see here. Their Majesty popped in. Rainbow, hello, Maldwin. There you are, a Rainbow Star System. Hello, just got home. Welcome. Glad we got here nice and early. Yeah, we just started. We're kind of like relaxed today. 5 pieces 9. Hello, 5. How are you doing today? Present. I see. Yeah. Let's see. Everybody's waving hello. Wait till you readies for question. We'll wait till you readies for question. Well, go ahead, 5. Let's see here. He's back. Everybody waving. One of our littles is pretty bummed out that he can't go trick-or-treating, but he understands that he's in a grown-up body perhaps someday. Well, at least, yours is willing to accept that it's an adult body. Ours are so disconnected that actually that's one of the things that can snap them out of the front, cause that disconnect is when they look down at adult. Well, they're seeing it as their hand, but the presence of like arm hair, particularly early on, would snap Christopher right back, or me right back to the front. It's tough to describe. And as Mimi actually explains in one of the videos, there's actually a trauma reason tie-in for this, but Mimi has forever been after, or was forever, particularly when she first came out, was after us forever to, shave our legs and get rid of the hair and whatnot on our arms and things like that. And initially I kind of fought that for a bit, but over the course of time came to realize that when I or let Mimi do it, whoever decides to do the shaving, generally it's Mimi, that if I let them just go ahead and get rid of the leg hair and even go so far as to shave the arms and the chest hair off, what little there is, that it made the littles feel much more at home or comfortable, and it helped to not cause that snap back from the front. A hard switch, there we go, that's the word we're looking for, because you can hard switch in and hard switch out. So it's kind of a make peace, keep peace within the system type thing. We're actually overdue for it. Mimi was bitching to me 2 days ago about the arm hair getting long again, and it's like, yeah, I know. So let's see here. So at least yours recognizes that they're in a grown-up body. So let's see here. Trick-or-treating their friend and their children. Yeah, that's a good suggestion from 5 pieces 9. Maybe ring up later because the tool wrench person not here yet. Rose somebody. Oh, Roses hasn't been on the streams in quite a while. They're just real busy in their personal life, I guess. We haven't heard from them in a while. So, but yeah, they haven't been on the last at least 4 or 5 months of live streams. So feel free to ask your question, but I don't think Rose's rent will be joining us today. Things happen, Oops, no, have another one. Well, go ahead. We're not quite following you, but that's cool. But yeah, we used to dress up for Halloween a lot, particularly when the kids were younger. Before our first wife passed away, we would all dress up and go out trick-or-treating in the neighborhood where she used to live, because the neighborhood around here there's no trick-or-treating. So we would take them over there with her first wife's mom, where they used to live in that neighborhood over there, because the neighbors will, they do it up more or less the way that they used to. So there was that, and then, the wife or the first wife and I, we would wear matching costumes and whatnot. And, kind of back when cosplay was just first, kind of starting to take off. Not as big as it was now, but yeah, we did the stuff for the kids to make sure that they got as authentic a Halloween experience as we could possibly give them. Unfortunately, the days of, okay, kids, go roam around the neighborhood. Here's your bed, your pillowcase. Go, be back, when the lights all go out. And yeah, it was a different time. people gave out like the full-size candy bars. They actually did give out candy. If they didn't give out candy, the whole trick or treat, they would expect to be tricked. The morning after Halloween, it was not uncommon to see toilet paper hanging from trees and houses that were egged, and it was all just minor annoyance stuff. Just kids being kids, and not so many smashed pumpkins, although that was generally the high schoolers that did that. Always kind of made us sad personally, but it just seems like over the course of time and through the influence of various special interest groups, Halloween unfortunately has become far more commercialized and kind of moved on from its original roots, as it were. So yeah, Halloween in the 80s was a really special kind of experience that I'm kind of sad that a lot of people don't get to experience anymore. I'm sure there's still enclaves, neighborhoods out there that do it like that, but times have changed, unfortunately, not for the better with Halloween, or at least that's our feelings on it. Okay, let's see here. Saw a few things, few chats go. Last time there's a wrench person is about ghosts. Go ahead, follow. And we have a new one, and no one knows what to do. Ghost altars. I see. Yeah, they're you're out of our purview there. So maybe somebody in the chat log will be able, if we're following you correctly. Wiley Shadowstar. Hello, Wiley. Welcome to the live stream. Wow, cut alive. Hi, absolutely. Glad you're here. Welcome. Ask anything that you want. We'll go over the rules here in a few minutes once more people trickle in. Let's see. Rainbow Star. We just dressed up for Halloween. Went to our local board and card game store. They were encouraging people to come in costume, so we did. Now we are tired and sore. Well, at least you had a good time, I should hope. Hello, Clover. Good to see you. Let's see here. Clover, where do adults even go to celebrate Halloween? We are so lonely recently. Well, Maldwin just said local, game stores, like where a lot of them will do like D&D and stuff like that. Depending upon where you live at, some of the smaller downtown chambers of commerce might do like a Halloween night and things like that. We were just talking about how it's unfortunately it's not like it used to be, with trick-or-treating and whatnot. But those are some things like comic book stores. Let's see if we can come up with some other places that might, of course, I mean, you're going to, bars and whatnot. Sometimes those will do it, but, that was never really our scene, or coffee shops, maybe bookstores. There's a good idea. See if there's any local bookstores that, might do that type of event. That's about all that we can think of off the top of our head. Like I said, we're kind of in a dead zone for that type of activity. We went as Randy the Witch from Elden Ring. I haven't played Elden Ring yet. Dark Souls was enough for us. Okay, Sea Bunny System says that they've got a ghost altar. Sadly, I don't know enough about her to give any information or advice. I apologize. That's all right. Yeah, I'm sorry, 5 Pieces of 9. We don't have ghost altars. So, like I said, you're can't help you on that one. Let's see. Clover Love Bookstore struggling to make friends in general recently. Friend? What is a friend? We don't know this friend thing. Okay, so we got about 7 of us here. We'll go ahead since we've got some newbies on here. So this is for you. The rules are very, very simple. They're the same rules on the channel as they are for the live streams. Rule number 1, you have the right to your opinion. Rule number 2, you have the right to state your opinion. Rule number 3, you do not have the right to abuse other people with your opinion. Rule number 4, don't troll us, don't post links to porn sites, things like that, or other things. Just general, don't be a dick. Don't test us, because we've been on the internet a very, 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 very long time, even before it was the internet. Yes, we're that old, and we know all the tricks and all the trolls and stuff like that. So just don't waste our time and don't waste your time, because we will just simply ban you without any, feeling bad whatsoever. So don't test us. Not that anybody ever really has. I think we've only had to ban like 2 people over the course of 4 years. So those are the rules, and the same rules goes for the comment section on the videos. Go ahead and comment, ask questions, whatever you want. If we're not comfortable asking or answering something, we'll let you know. And if your opinion may happen to disagree with ours on something, on a piece of content that we've put out, go ahead and put your comment down there. If as long as you keep it respectful, we will leave it up. We don't delete comments, or weed through them, except for violations of the rule that we just stated. So them's the rules. Oh yes, and don't discuss politics, religion, or sex, except when it's germane to the conversation, obviously, because we do get into trauma sometimes. So but them's the rules. Clover is saying that they don't have a ghost altar, but they do have a dead altar who looks like the Grim Reaper. So maybe they'll be able to help you out with their question there. 5 pieces of 9. So the month has been fairly off and on for us. It's just a lot of stuff. Still trying to find work. Still trying to find a job other than the one that we have delivering for Amazon. Fortunately, the gas prices is starting to come down slowly. It's just a little over $4 a gallon where we're at now, and hopefully it'll drop back down under 4. That'd be nice, so we can start delivering again. Unfortunately, it's just a lot of them are not hiring, or maybe they don't want to hire a guy over 50 or something. Not sure. We've still got a couple of other places to check out, applications to drop off. We're not used to this whole apply by app and then not hear anything until they decide to contact you. We're more the okay, here's go in and then pick up the application, fill it out, drop it off, shake their hand. Hi, I'm so and so. Like to interview, or if you haven't heard from them for a few days, give them a phone call, or go in to see them and say, hey, have you had a chance to look yet? But apparently that's considered to be bad manners and bad form nowadays, which is completely opposite from what what we learned and grew up with. So it's kind of been a struggle for us to unlearn a lot of this stuff, but yeah, it kind of has an impersonal feel to it now that we're not used to, but we're still plugging away there. Like I said, got a couple of other local possibilities where maybe we'll be able to pick up some part-time work, which is really all that we need. But I mean, we actually like the delivering. It's good for us. It gets us out of the house. I know this may sound strange for somebody with agoraphobia. That's one of our biggest anxieties. Now that we've been working through and we've got our tools, and of course we've got our anti-anxiety medications. It's not bad, but the delivering is perfect because we don't have to deal with people. You just go and you pick up the packages, and it's all there on the app, and you run the route and you drop them off, and boom, you're done. That's it. So there's very minimal contact, but it's outdoors, or we're out in the outdoors, we're seeing something new. But by the same token, you never know where the heck you're going to end up delivering. So it could be all the way across the other side of the city for us. So that's a chance you take. But it's something that we actually do enjoy doing. It's a good job for us because if we're having a bad day, we don't have to accept a block. If we're having a good day, we can go ahead and do it. It offers that flexibility that we need, particularly with our condition, and if we're dealing with a bad day. The only real holdback has been the fact that the price of gas has made it virtually, not profitable. You have to basically pull 2 days of work to pay for the gas to do those 2 days of work, and that wipes out 1 day. But anyway, we're managing. But we're moving into the holiday season now, so hopefully the local places will be looking to pick up some part-time workers. So we're still going on that. Have actually had some good movement on the therapy front, as it turns out. Let's see, was it, when did we go? Was it Wednesday or was it Monday? No, it was Wednesday. We actually got a call last week, or was it the week before, from a therapist with we had successfully gotten our clinic switched back to the one that we were originally at. And it was about 7:30 at night, actually, and the poor lady, we were a little brusque with her because we don't get calls. And normally not at that time of night, but a therapist called from our new old clinic, because they had told us when we got there that it was basically a year. So the wait list was a year long, just to get any therapist, much less one who's familiar with DID and does trauma therapy work. But our psychologist, she was like, we'll see if we can, shortlist you, because it's like, we really need therapy. We need trauma therapy. We need somebody who's capable of dealing with this. And much to our surprise, that them putting us on the short list, they must have really moved mountains, because they've done more for us in 2 months than the other place did in 2 years. They were just absolutely terrible, terrible place. So she called us and she's like, let's set up the initial appointment. So this last Wednesday, we went in and actually met our new therapist, who who is familiar with DID, has treated several other systems, and does trauma work. Not our old therapist that we contacted and was willing to take us on a cash payment basis. So this one is actually covered by the insurance. So we won't have any out of pocket for that. And we're able to start therapy again with somebody who so far appears pretty good. I mean, obviously, the first appointment is just kind of, meet, greet, get some basic. Generally, about the first 4 or 5, therapy sessions are, getting to know each other. And, it's like, okay, is this person going to work for us? Is there any connection here? It's like we just covered in the theory of structural dissociation in the treatment center. It's step number 1 is stabilize the ANPs and build a relationship between the ANPs, the EPs, and the therapist. So that's where we're at. It's like she sat us down and she's like, okay, let's go over your family history. It's like, you sure you want to do that? It's like, yeah, you're going to need a bigger piece of paper. She's, poor woman, she's there trying to, make a family tree and relationship tree. And it's, it's like, you might want to bring a bigger whiteboard, particularly next time, because we didn't even get into, the system and how it's subdivided. But she had access to our complete, file, since this is the same place that we were diagnosed at 4 years ago. So yay for therapy. We are now back in therapy for the first time in 2 years. Not with our old therapist, but hey, we'll take it, because again, she knows DID, or at least says she does. And her eyes didn't glaze over with that deer in the headlights look when we started talking about, the stuff that we're familiar with, systems and the theory of structural dissociation and everything. And it was obvious. She's like, you've done a lot of research and homework on your condition, haven't you? It's like, kind of had to, because there's not a whole hell of a lot out there. So I think that kind of took her aback, but she seems nice. We'll see how it goes. There weren't any immediate red flags or, ooh, can't trust this person. You get a feeling for whether or not you can actually, either you gel with somebody or you don't. And she seems nice enough. We'll see how it goes. We'll definitely give her a chance. And hey, it's therapy. It's we'll take it. Thank you very much. We'll take it. With this therapist shortage going on, we were surprised that they were able to find us one that rapidly. So like we said, they really, that putting us on the short list really did work, and we're very grateful for that. Our old clinic here has done more for us in 2 months than the other did in 2 years, which was just a lot of wasted time, and we are repeating ourselves. So let's check the cat log. Yes, let's check the cat log here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, 5 Pieces 9 and Clover talking about ghost parts. 420 Witch, hello there. How are you doing? Hope you're well there on the other side of the pond. Let's see here, and happy Samhain, since we know that you practice. So happy Samhain to you, or Samhain. I think it's supposed to be Samhain, but we're not sure. Potato. We know what we're talking about. Actually, it reminds us, well, not that we've ever failed, but here you go, 420. What you'll appreciate this. We were pagan at one point in time. We're not really sure that ever truly leaves you, but we have always put the offering out on Halloween night for the Sidhe, to thank them for their protection and to ask it for another year, just continuing the old ways. But we put out the bread and the cheese and the meat, and we have a crystal dish, because obviously no cold steel or iron or anything. Natural materials is best. For obvious reasons, and we've got a decent bit of good whiskey, and we'll put out a glass for that, and we'll come back, and every year they've accepted the offering, either that or we've got some drunk gray foxes and other wildlife running around with our little feast. But either way, we'll take it. But yeah, we still make the offering every year without fail. We've been doing that since we were about Mimi's age, 12, 13. I think we've been doing that ever since we read about it. Plus, we actually come from some Pennsylvania Dutch, so there's a lot of the old, superstitions and old ways there back in the East Coast. So, but yeah, 420, there we go. Thought you might find that interesting. Okay, so let's see here. We're talking about the ghost altars, which is good. Thank you guys for talking about that. Clover saying, on that note, I seriously cannot believe it's been a whole month since the last live stream. Maybe I was out of it this whole month. Seems to have gone very fast. Yeah, welcome to DID. What day is it? What is a day? Let's see here. Just catching up here. Huzzah for therapy progress. Yeah, it was very nice actually to be back in therapy. Hang on, we're gonna open the door for cats. Are you coming in or not? We'll just leave it cracked. You gonna lay in the sunshine, huh? Wanting the sunshine? Or is this your, oh, hey, Daddy's doing, yeah, you want to come up, don't you? All right. Oh, come on, you can squish through there. No, yeah, see, you're going to hurt yourself, bro. Hang on, Cobras. Come on. Well, I'm sorry. If you hadn't hared away from us that day when we were taking you for a walk, one of our cats, Colby, he hurt his paw, strained his paw or something. About 5 days ago, we take them for a walk every night, and it was, we've actually got a light up cat collar for him that we made out of some LEDs and a couple of button cell batteries so that we can keep track of him when we take him out onto our land. And we were just walking him, and every once in a while that tail gets twitching and he decides to, it's like, that he's going to do something stupid. And sure enough, he did. And he just took off herring away from us to the other side of the lot. And when we get over there, he's limping. So we think that we weren't able to find a thorn or anything. So we think that he just, sprained his foot or whatnot. So he's been limping around for about the past 4 days. He's getting better every day. He's not limping quite so much, but he still can't jump up onto stuff like he wants to. So poor guy. Yeah. He decided to lay down in the sunshine and get some rest, because he doesn't like it when Dad's in the room and he can't get in. But yeah, poor guy, Mr. Golders. Okay, so let's see here. Let's backtrack. Yes. So yes, therapy. Yes, yay. 420, which says, my therapist has mentioned she's noticed how I'll change the subject really quick when it's difficult subject or whatever, and has said she's going to start getting me to sit with the feelings in the future. That's hard. And yeah, that avoidance, that's the ANPs. That's the ANPs going, no, we don't want to deal with this stuff. That's the natural avoidance. That's the dissociation kicking in right there. And yeah, learning to sit with the feelings, that's tough. That's really tough. We've had to do that for several things. It's like the first time that we really had to do that was with Christopher's trauma, which our longtime viewers know was pretty intense. And so we had to learn to kind of sit with that, and it's tough because the impulse is to want to suppress, to deny, to divert, and it can be very tough to sit there with it, and in it, and recognize it, and go, okay, yeah, trauma doesn't lie. Here it is. We have to process this through. It does help in the long run, or at least it did with Christopher. He's still got a lot there, but it did help to get over that initial mountain, as it were. Not sure if that makes any sense. Small crowd today. That's okay. Let's see here. And any of you who might be lurking, lurk away. We don't require participation. So yeah, we understand what you're saying there, 420. 420. Still talking back and forth there. We love it when you guys help each other. Samhain is pronounced, but thank you, friend, for sending you many blessings for the dark half of the year. We've actually all preferred the fall for the most time. Happy Samhain, folks who celebrate. Yeah, absolutely. For those, is Roses here? Okay, no, we were just going over that. Roses hasn't been on the streams for quite a while now. We know they've got a lot going on, and just life is life. And but we actually haven't heard from them in a couple weeks. People drift in, drift out, and whatnot. But no, they haven't been on any of the streams in quite a while now. But that's okay. It's not required and whatnot. And, they've got their own stuff to do. So I'm sure they'll drift back in at some point, or not, as it may go. We're not pushy in that way. If they need space, we're going to give them space. But as far as we know, they're okay. Like I said, the last that we heard from them was a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe. And they said they were having some difficulty with car stuff. So, it's life. Life is life. Gets in the way. Yes, hello. Come on in. Lay down. Don't be squeaky. Yeah, maybe it was Roses. You're thinking of the wrench tool. Yeah, because when you're a moderator, this little wrench tool icon will show up in the chat, so that's probably it. Let's see, 420 would make sense since I'm possibly BPD, me dissociating and changing the subject. I thought it was my it's whatever thinking. Yeah, it's that's the avoidance. That's the avoidance. It's like literally our new therapist was saying, so you avoid and isolate. It's like, yeah, basically. It's like, yeah, mea culpa, we'll completely admit to that. So, how did you guys like the theory of structural dissociation? Was that a dry episode or what? To be honest, we're surprised at the amount of views and likes on that one. That was exhausting. Oh my God, that was a chore to get through, because we worked for that on month and a half, just solid, nothing else, going through, because first I created the little graphics that we used throughout it, to describe the ego states and whatnot, and how they gel together to give you guys the basics of how we grow, how we progress, how the personalities form, and what happens to them. But oh dear Lord, that paper, which we link to in the description, if you ever want to take a look at it, it's a very dry and very long read. But man, it took every night for about 2 weeks data to go through and highlight the thing. And then of course he had to go back in, kind of half and half, because I was co-con with him on that part of, boiling it down, because he tended to want to, highlight everything. Oh, well, this pertains, this is a point of interest in this. And I'm going, dude, okay, we already have enough here. This needs to be one episode, not like 13 episodes. Let's just boil this down to the Cliff Notes version. And, so I was able to actually get him to do that. But it took, let's see, there was the initial read through and all the highlighting that we've got on the tablet here. And then we had to do it again on paper to boil it down, because that's how we learned to do papers and whatnot, was writing it down on paper. So then we bullet pointed it once, and then I went through and bullet pointed it again. And then we finally, which gave me the finished form or script, that I was working off of in order to actually film the episode. And then, of course, editing it all together and, making sure that, it flowed together and made as much sense as we possibly could. But that was probably one of the more exhausting, in just terms of sheer work, episodes that we've done. But it was important. It's like we said in the system log. It was important for us to get that right and for it to be accurate for you guys, because it's the basic underlying theory of dissociation and the way that it breaks down from PTSD on downwards. So hopefully it made sense to you guys. Hopefully you found something of value in that. Again, the information is about 13 years old, so there have been advances since then. So if you find a contradiction or something that might have changed, keep a couple of things in mind. Number one, the information is about 13 years old, and there may have been changes since then. Two, it is still a theory. The theory of structural dissociation. It happens to be the one that is most backed up by hard science now, but it is still a theory, so there are holes or little contradictions here and there in it. DID and dissociative conditions are very hard to pin down. It's a very nebulous type area. Still, they've made significant progress on it, but so if you find anything where that kind of makes you go, makes you cock your head to the side, just keep those in mind. It's not written in stone, or not all of it. It's still in flux a little, if that makes sense to you. So hopefully, anyway, upshot, hope you got something out of it. So that, which brings us to, and that basically it put a hold on all of our other content making, because we've got Rosemary, who's been wanting to do her piece. We always kind of knew it would be around the holidays, but she's kind of been knocking at the door for her time so that she can do that. Of course, Percival always wants to do more little stories. We've got a new book that we'll be covering for the older readers. The Percival reads, like with the Forgotten Door that we did. We already have that out. I've got the pages scanned and it's ready for him to start recording. But we had to put a stop on it with the theory of structural dissociation in order to push through and to get that done. And so Rosemary is next up. So before we do anything else, you'll see in the next episode, you'll see coming down the content pipeline will be from her. I think that she's going to be baking something. She's got like 2 or 3 ideas that she's kicking around. But yeah, I can guarantee you the next thing that you'll see will be from her. It's just simply going to be finding the right window to actually film, and whatnot, because she'll want to be herself, and I have to learn and relinquish that control and be okay. You confront, and I'm not comfortable with this, but kind of hoisted on my own petard type thing, because they do get to produce their own content, and I'm just the editor and chief technical dude in charge. So I've had to overcome that I'm having to learn to overcome that reticence and that feeling of weird, because here's female, suddenly I'm a female and I'm dressing up and things like that, and it's just really difficult and uncomfortable, but that's a me thing. So actually, in the theory of structural dissociation, that to touch back on that for a moment, there was this part where it's like ANPs will learn to avoid other ANPs due to unresolved conflicts and whatnot. So we're like, I'm like, oop, yeah, that's it in a nutshell right there. So I'm having to put my money where my mouth is on that. So absolutely positively guarantee that the next episode that you're going to see coming down the line will be from Rosemary. So you can look forward to that. And then after that, it'll probably be an episode of Little Stories, because we will be dead up against the holidays by that point. And I think that Percival's got a Christmas story. I'm not sure exactly what he has lined up, but he has that. So I think that's basically all we're not going to be doing another serious or big informational episode. Maybe a couple of smaller ones around the holiday, just to give some more tips and whatnot on getting through the holiday season, like we did last year. Maybe we'll do an update on those, but yeah, no more big heavy informational episodes, or trigger warning type stuff from us for the rest of the year. So you can breathe a sigh of relief there. All right, I've seen a lot of chat fly by here, so let me catch up real quick. Let's see. 5 Pieces 9 is heading out for a smoke break. No problem. Maldwin is a very good video, but a lot to take in for sure. Yeah. Oof. Clover, loved it. Haha, such a good episode. Good, glad. It was good. We liked it and how it was presented. Thank you very much. We're never sure if we're too academic with it. I always try to, we I film green screen on those and with a static shot of this, so that I can slide over and we have that information board or chalkboard, whatever you want to call it, there to decide. Hopefully that's a good format for you guys, because particularly on those longer ones, we want you to have the visual thing where you can take it, jot by jot, note by note. Try to do it the best way. So hopefully that format works for you guys. Let's see. Briefly touched on my online friends with DID and how I feel safe talking to those in the community because of how you all understand here. My therapist is happy I have this long online friendship here. Yeah, absolutely. We're glad that she approves, definitely. But you guys are the ones making the community. It's just we're just providing the room, as it were, for it. You guys are the ones helping out each other out in the chat and whatnot. So can't take credit for that. But thank you though. Let's see here. It's also therapist is nice, and she even organized patient transport for you to get to and from sessions, so I don't miss any. That is great to hear. 420 Witch. Let's see. Wiley Shadowstar saying littles are waiting for a new story time. Don't worry, we'll have one. I guarantee you. Before Christmas. He's going to try to more than likely squeeze 2 out of us. We'll see how it goes, but Rosemary is first. I made a promise and I have to keep it, because when I make a promise, or we make a promise, you can take it to the bank. Our grandfather, which was basically the main male, positive, non-abusive male influence in our life, always said that a man's word is his bond. If you make a promise, then you need to keep it no matter what, no matter how difficult it is. And plus, with the fact that we were lied to and manipulated our entire life, constantly gaslit and controlled, the truth is something that is very, very important to us. So a promise is a promise. Let's see. Clover, her baking looks so great all the time. Yeah, she does produce nice stuff. Have to admit that. She can go a little overboard, but too. Let's see. Sad Doggo. Oh, I forgot about this. Arg, Cub Connor. Hey, no problem. It's good to see you, Cub Connor. Glad you were able to stop in. And also, thank you for the coffee that you pitched our way the other day. Wanted to thank you personally for that. Greatly appreciated. Every little bit helps. Let's see here. Yay for understanding friends. Therapist sounds wonderful. Let's see. 420 Witch. My age regress self is excited for the next stories for little and middles teens. I'm getting fidgety just thinking about them. Yeah, we've got a good, or he's got a good book picked out for the next Percival reads. For the adult holders. It's old. 1910 is when it was written, so it's definitely a period piece, but it's a really great story. We think that you guys are going to enjoy it. It actually does touch on abuse and whatnot in an ancillary fashion with one of the characters in there. You'll know what we're talking about when we actually get to it, but it's a really good story. It's a redemption type of a story, a love story. It's a romance, coming of age type of a story. We'll just leave it at that. We think you guys will really like it. Dated for sure, so it's going to be an interesting kind of a cultural thing, but we definitely think you'll enjoy it. But yes, we will have at least one more little story, so you guys can take a look for, probably 2. He's kind of wanting to do them back by back, and it's back to back, and it's a bit of a process to shoot when he's doing those, because we have to do it against the full green screen, which we have hung up on just to the side of us here. You can actually see we've got it floor to ceiling. But yeah, you can see, and also we'll just go ahead and give you the look at the, I don't know, I can't see when I'm doing this, but there are 2 cats down here. Hopefully you can see them. But yeah, that's our green screen. We've got it kind of perma hung up there on the side to do the episodes, because we wanted to add in various episodes that and for example, like the sheep, that we could not do physically like we originally started off doing. We got so many sheep that we couldn't put them on the wall anymore, and we actually, when our son moved out of this room, we were able to move the whole and actually have a proper studio, get a proper studio set up where we didn't have to set up everything every single time, and it enabled us to increase our production value to where we want it. Let's see here. Let's see, 420 Witch is talking about the therapist. Yeah, she's really nice. Get panicky thinking about my time with her ending because she's been right good so far. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys are on the results time type of a thing. Well, play it by your take. Is squeeze every drop of therapy that you can out of them. That's how we were with our first therapist. Oh, let's see here. Your theory video is smashing. That's got to be Zen. Thank you very much, Zen. My friend Caretaker says that she finds your live streams informative. Cool. Let's see. 5 pieces of 9. So many times we experience people, abusers, making promises that they never kept. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. 420 Witch, have you read the book Goodnight, Mr. Tom? Chris, anyone else here read it or saw the movie? The book touches on abuse and that too. I have not. We have not. Percival's going, so we'll go ahead and make a note of that and look it up and see what that's all about. Thank you for the recommendation. Yay for cats. Okay, so you guys must have seen the boys laying there. Let's see, 420 Witch, yeah, only given 20 sessions with possibility of it getting extended by 20, but then it ends, yeah. The littles want sheep so bad. Wiley Shadowstar. Well, Wiley, all you have to do is drop us their names. You can either do it here in the chat log or on one of our community posts or any of the little stories posts. If you haven't written that down, I think we've got about 4 or 5 sheep to add. So if you get that name in, I mean, if you would like them to have a sheep, go ahead, and you haven't already done it. Well, I don't have the master list in front of me right now. We keep a master list of all the various littles' names and the ones that we need to add in if they want a sheep, or even if you want a sheep, go ahead and let us know their names, and we'll be happy to get one up before during the next episode. And that goes for the rest of you. I mean, most of you guys are all long-time viewers here, so you've probably already got one. But let's see here. Talking about the book, they're based around World War II times. Okay, so there we go. Leah, Holly, and Quinn. Let me grab a piece of paper or just a pen. We'll be right back. I want to write that down physically, because sometimes the chat log doesn't show up for like a day later or so, and memory being what it is. Jot it down ironically on one of our original little sheets. These were the original forms of the sheets that we would go ahead and fill out the name, and then we'd cut it out and put it on the wall, but we got so many sheep that the wall was getting all covered up. So let us jot that down real quick. We have Leah and Holly and Quinn with 2 N's. Quinn. Got them. Okay, Shadowstar, we will have those up next episode, so your littles will have something to look forward to. They'll be reading out their name along with the rest. So anybody else, feel free to drop them now, because once I get into the post-production phase after the filming, because of the way that it goes together and the way that we do it, I can't add in after the fact. So if you have littles who don't have sheep who want them, let us know now. Not Rosemary first, but we will be doing at least 1 episode. So thanks for being brave enough to share those names with us, and we'll definitely get a sheep for each of them. Okay, so let's see. Back to 420 Witch's therapist. She's already said she'll try to get me that extra 20. Good. I'll have to see what I can do after that when it comes to it, I guess. Yeah. We'll put some good thoughts, good energy your way on that. Yay, cheering for the littles. Well, sometimes I even forget my system name, and so I watch those videos just to remember, because I gave my system name instead of each little's names. Talk about really severe amnesia. Yeah, that's DID for you. Everybody's applauding. Thank you. They will be so happy. Absolutely, and no problem. That's it's for the littles. That was the whole purpose. Is the whole purpose behind the little stories is to have programming specifically for littles, which are the most important parts of the system, and they get so often overlooked that we wanted to give them, something that they could rely on, that it would be there just for them. And, if older folks happen to like it, all the better. So we've got their names down, definitely. Lavender System, hello. Sorry we're late. We didn't get the notification. It's okay. It's kind of spotty. YouTube is goofy. All the rest of you, though, on that note, while you're here, you might want to go ahead and click on the bell icon. Make sure that you've got all the notifications turned on so that you do get notified when we upload an episode or do a live stream or something like that, because they don't go to all notifications by default. You have to literally click on the little bell icon a couple times in order to get it completely turned on. So if you're missing our notifications or missing notifications for our episodes or live streams, go ahead and take a second to do that so that you'll be in the loop, as it were. The live stream, we normally put up a notification a couple days before, but this time we dropped the ball and we didn't do that just because we were busy going to actual therapy again for the first time in 2 years. So yay for that. For those of you who just joined, we go into it earlier on in the episode, but our clinic managed to cough up a therapist for us who is familiar with DID and has done trauma work and whatnot. So yay for that. We attended our first session on Wednesday, and it is covered by the insurance. Not our old therapist, unfortunately, one who was already familiar with us, but a new one. But it removes the cash only limitations, and it's now through the insurance, so we're able to get as much therapy as we need. So that's kind of a big weight off of our back there, and it seems like she's going to be pretty good. It's one of these where we might overwhelm her just a little bit. It's like, have you read our case file? You sure you know what you're getting into here? Like we were saying earlier, the poor thing's graphing out our family relationships. It's like, you're going to need a bigger piece of paper. But we think she's going to be a big fit. Actually, something that kind of took us by surprise to divert to that back to that for just a second. When we go in, it's a really big clinic, and they've got a lot of back offices and whatnot. And so she leads us around and through the maze of corridors or whatnot into the office, and I'm fairly sure it's her office or the office that she's been using. And we walk in, and here's stuff for kids, all over the place, like markers and colored pencils, and it's stuff on the wall. So immediately we're hit with this for littles type of a thing. So we're going, I know that she probably works with kids as well, maybe. But it was obvious that the room had been set up to put littles at ease or comfort, and she obviously had the various play tools, the textural tools and whatnot right there for play therapy and whatnot. So it was actually we were very surprised and pleased to see that. The only detraction from it, and this is just purely a personal thing, as you've seen from our background in our videos, we like things to be neat and in order, and just equidistant and properly put up. We are that person that will go into somebody's house and straighten their picture frames. Well, there was a set of 3, they'll do like paintings in the sets of 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and they're all the same thing. Well, the last 2 were perfectly centered, but the first one was tilted at an angle, and it was bothering us throughout the entire therapy session. Or we really just wanted to get up and go and straighten that thing. But so we get done with the session, and we're getting up, and she's leading the way out, and we couldn't help ourselves. We reach out and we go to to recenter the painting just real quick while she's not looking, only to find that unfortunately that was the way that it was put up, and it can't be recentered. So if we're in that room for now, that damn thing's going to be bugging us every single time because it offends our sense of order. This thing is slightly askew, so we may have to mention that to her just kind of as a joke type of a thing. But it was actually really cool to see that she had all of the tools on hand to deal with littles and whatnot. It was obvious that the room was designed to work for and with kids and or littles. So, yay, positive sign there. Okay, let's see here. Let me go back here. Our system just said hello. 420 Witch, I want to try and make pumpkin pie for Christmas this year. Reminds me of my mom. Going to be 24 years this Christmas Eve since her passing. That's kind of a sad thing, but yeah, pumpkin pie. Yeah, go for those positive triggers. That's what you're doing right there. Because if you remember in the episodes last year that we talked about, the 5 tips for survivors and for systems to get through the holiday season, we talk about those positive triggers because whenever everybody talks about triggers or we're talking about triggers in DID, they tend to be the negative ones. We think of the negative triggers that will set us off, but we forget that there are also positive triggers that will trigger positive memories and positive flashbacks. That can be just as potent as the negative ones. So good for you for embracing that, for making that connection, and then going ahead and taking that next step. Lavender system. Stefani would like a sheep. Okay, let me write that down here real quick. I know we have a Stefan already, but I don't think we have a Stefan. Fortunately, we haven't had to deal with any name duplications yet. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right, let's see. S-T, where'd you go? E-F-E-N-I. Now, is that Stefani or Stephanie? Please, let us know the proper pronunciation. We're probably going to guess it's Stephanie, but let us know, please, if you would, Lavender System. Okay, and we'll make sure to get that up. Okay, let's see here. Everybody waving hi. Amnesia is definitely a thing. 5 pieces. We think Chris answered a question like 3 times today. Sorry, I know we repeat ourselves. That's the DID. Let's see. Zen is asking, curious how everyone is with the holidays. It's mid-fall, so our system is finally calming down. For our part, we tend to ratchet up around the holidays because we have a lot of trauma-related incidences that unfortunately happen around the holidays, including one of Christopher's original traumas, which happened, between the space of Christmas Eve and the end of the year there. So there's... the holiday season is a challenge for us. It generally starts after Halloween because Halloween is one of those few holidays that we don't have any negative associations around, curiously enough. But Thanksgiving and particularly Christmas, those are stressful times. That's when we feel the spiral, the tightening spiral, starting to ramp up, and we've had to learn to deal with that, particularly as we've moved along in our journey from where we were 4 years ago. We're to the point now where we're more fully embracing the DBT and whatnot, and basically it's recognizing, like we were saying, that you're having a trauma reaction and recognizing that you're actually having the reaction. Then you go, okay, where is this coming from? And then you identify, the source of it, and then you're able to go, okay, well, now that we understand that we're having the reaction, and we understand where it's coming from, what can we do now to make a conscious reaction, a better way of dealing with this, that's non-triggered and non-dissociative, and then go ahead and doing that. The case in point that we give is it was either last year or the year before, we started to get really surly and growly and bitchy and argumentative on Christmas morning with our wife. And it was one of these where all of a sudden it hit us, oh shit, we're having a trauma reaction. So we go out back with our cup of tea and we're sitting there and it's like, okay, let's peel this back. Where is this coming from? And we figured out where it was coming from. And then it's like, okay, now what do we need to do to break this cycle of, that we've got going on here? And it was, okay, well, in the past, we would just simply bottle this up and it would build and build. So what do we need to do to, sidetrack that? And it was, well, we need to communicate. We need to go in and tell our wife, okay, we're having a trauma-based reaction. This is why. We're sorry. can we get a hug, please? And of course, she was very understanding. So that's exactly what we did. So we were able to break that particular chain. But it still does crop up, particularly around the holidays. Things will start to escalate internally, and we'll kind of get kerfluffled, as it were. But this year we've been doing pretty good, so we'll see how it goes. It's obviously a constant battle, as it is around any type of a trauma-versary is what we like to call them. Term we got from Rosa's Rent. So we'll see as we get farther into the holiday season, but we're glad that at least for you, the Fall Herald's kind of relaxing. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Lavender System. Oh, we finally convinced the psychiatrist to allow us to titrate off of Seroquel on our terms. And in the last 9 doses, BP dropped 33 points. Our appetite improved, as did your sleep. Cool. Seroquel. I know we were on that at one point. We're on lamotrigine, amlodipine for our heart, blood pressure, and then propranolol. Yeah, we had tried the Seroquel, but it wasn't working for us. So just really our psych meds just consist of lamotrigine for the baseline. We've been on that since we were diagnosed, and it makes a hell of a difference. Boy, we know if we miss. We've missed like accidentally twice because of a refill screw up with the pharmacy, and we know, oh boy. So yeah, just the propranolol as needed, and the lamotrigine. That's it. We managed to keep things pretty minimal, because we don't want to be, we've always taken the tact that we should start off with the minimal amount and only go upwards if necessary, and keep the amount of medications to a minimum. They've got us on one now, I can't remember the name of it, to help us sleep at night. It doesn't help us fall asleep, which is still a huge problem for us. But once we actually get asleep, it helps us to stay asleep. But as a result, our dreams, which are already whack and intense, tend to get a little more intense. So it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Excuse us. Okay, so let's see here. So good news for you there, Lavender System. 5 pieces of 9. See the wall behind Chris moves about 6 times. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the autofocus on the YouTube streaming app here. There's nothing we can do about it. I've tried to set it, and it won't stop auto zooming in. I wish there was a setting that we could change to stop it from doing that. So sorry. It annoys us too. Let's see. 420 Witch, I saw a beautiful Bass statue the other day and thought of you, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, actually, we were just showing off our Bast and Bastet stuff that we have in the other room at the beginning of the stream. So we've got a great big tapestry on the wall and a couple of bookends and an incense burner. So if you want to check those out later on, just replay the stream. Let's see here. But thank you. Yeah, we love the ancient Egyptian stuff. Always have. Lavender System. Only uncomfortable thing is the dissociative depersonalization and derealization is more noticeable, almost like the Seroquel was masking it. Yeah, we feel you. Let's see. 5 pieces 9. Sad Doggo. Thanks. Don't think that we have a triggery time of year just when Cloud forgets our birthday. Wait, did we skip one over here? Oh, okay. Sorry, 420 Witch. They're saying that their spiral goes in like ours goes into the Yule season. Yeah. Okay. Trying to catch up here. Let's see. Maldwin saying I have to go early. We have a really rough headache. It's been a day. Okay. Self-care. Go rest. Stop, drop, and snooze. You know what to do. So we'll see you, Maldwin. Take care, please. Let's see. Lavender System. Definitely need to find a therapist in our clinic that works with littles, because it feels like we don't start setting aside therapy for them as well. They may eventually force their way to the front. Yes. That's a valid fear you've got there. Let's see. 420 Witch. Okay, like Stephanie. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Stephanie. Got it. Okay, thank you very much for clarifying that, Lavender System, because we do try to pronounce them properly. Let's see. Not your fault because the little ones didn't remember that you answered about the ranch tool person already. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Clover's also going to head out as they're getting a bit sad now for some reason. Hope you have a wonderful month. Absolutely, Clover. Go self-care. Do something that'll give you a positive trigger, okay? To kind of offset that. But at the very least, self-care, drink some water. Okay. Thanks for dropping in. Okay, let's see here. Sad Dog is saying, I agree. Halloween is A-okay. Zen is saying, sorry. Thank you for the hug. Ironically, Lavender System is saying, ironically enough, with the appetite returning, we're getting anxious every time we feel hungry. So that may have been another thing that Seroquel was masking. Yeah, it's funny how they all tie together. Let's see here. Link DID. Good. Welcome. I haven't seen you around before. If we have, sorry, I'm not remembering at the moment. Welcome to the stream and the channel. How do you feel about negative titles, nicknames for alters? I've been very against the title of persecutor, and I've been firm against my therapist also using the term. You need to be comfortable with whatever you're comfortable with. For us, for our part, we prefer the more clinical terms just simply because that's how we are. We like everything in its own neat little factual box, but we do know that that doesn't work for everybody. Use whatever terms work best for you because all of us are interpreting, our condition through our own particular filter. So as long as your therapist is okay with that, yeah, you have every right to insist on that. Yeah, words do carry some connotations, and if you're not comfortable with that, that's cool. For us, we're not bothered by it, but we do know that there are systems out there who prefer to use alternate terms, and that's perfectly all right. As long as you and your therapist both know what you're talking about. And yeah, we kind of see where you're coming with that as well, because sometimes the roles aren't quite that clear cut. We like I said, for ourselves, we prefer to boil everything down to its barest essence because we don't like uh, ambiguity. We prefer, okay, we can rely on this being this and that being that, and black is black and white is white. That's kind of how the way that our mind runs when it runs. But yeah, I would say that that's perfectly valid to use another term, linked deity or link. We'll just call you Link. Let's see here. 5 Pieces of 9 is saying that they take Prozocin, but not to remember their dreams. We still have them, just don't remember them. That would be a small mercy for us. We've always had a very active and vibrant dreamscape. Wonder why. Let's see. Oh my gosh, does anybody else have alters that dream? Yes, we have had several dreams where alters have been present within the dream state as well. Once, one particular bad dream, Christopher had taken over the dreamscape, and all the rest of us ended up gathering around to help calm him down and pull him out of trigger territory, which was a unique experience, let me tell you. Almost 20 of us. That was weird. Let's see. Sad Dog is replying to LinkedIn, or Link, sorry. Interestingly, we just had an alter try to convince our host he was a sexual alter, very manipulative. Labels are labels and can always be misused, but it depends on what helps Zen. Yeah, that's a great point there, Zen. Thanks for sharing that. Anybody? Yes, we do. 5. Let's see. Could use the term anger holder or pain holder. There's another great suggestion. They're the alter's personal dream. Oh, okay. Probably, yeah. Meaning the dream belonged to that alter exclusively. Yeah, it's dream state is whack. Let's see here. Zen is talking to 5 Pieces of 9. Yeah, definitely. Although it's a little rare because they have to be so far forward. Yeah, that's an interesting question. So yeah, Data is going. Make a note on that. Dreams and alters. Yep, there's another episode idea that just came out of the ether there. He'll be looking into that. And see if he can dig up anything for you. Add that to our never-ending list of episodes that we want to do. Okay, let's see here. Where are we at? About 2:30. We'll go for about maybe another 15 minutes because we're getting kind of hungry. We haven't eaten yet. Get that last chance for anybody to get in some questions there. So if you have anything that you'd like to ask us, go ahead and just pop it down there in the chat. Again, if you have littles who would like to have their name on a sheet during the next episode, go ahead and drop their names in the comment section, or in the community chat, or reach out to us on Instagram. Whatever you'd like to do. You okay, Colbridge? All right, be safe. Still limping and we're worried. So yeah, go ahead and reach out to us if you have littles who would like a name on a sheet before we get into the production of the next episode, so we can, or I, since I'm the one doing it, can actually get those in there. Let's see here. I was wondering about creating a video about the altered dreaming. Yeah, go for it. Actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and we'll put that on side. We don't want to steal the idea from you. You go. I'll put an X by this so Data will know. You go ahead and you do that 5 pieces of 9. You run with that episode idea. See what you can dig up, and we'll be looking for that episode from you. So let's see. For those of you who may have not been here, coming up on the channel next, we'll be seeing from Rosemary again, because we've made a promise to her that she's up next after the theory of structural dissociation and all of our hard work on that. She is next in line, no matter what. So that'll be the very next thing after this live stream that you'll be seeing coming from us, with the sole exception of maybe one of those system update logs. But more than likely, it's just going to be Rosemary straight up next out the gate. Again, we'll have at least one episode of Little Stories coming out before Christmas and the end of the year, possibly 2. We'll see how it works out. No more big informational episodes or big triggery dealing with the trauma content and things like that. We're pretty well, the theory of structural dissociation pretty well wiped us out for the rest of the year on that. So Rosemary, Little Stories, maybe a couple of holiday tips and hints, the way that we did last year. Basically, that's the way the programming is going to shape up for the rest of the year. We're down to 2 months left, yeah, because we're heading into November and then December. Almost another year has passed by. Really amazing, and thanks to all of you who might have just joined the channel and are not familiar with our live streams and our content. We thank you for being here. Thanks for subscribing and watching and dropping your comments. Feel free to ask anything that you like. We're pretty much open, and we'll answer just about any question. If we're not comfortable with something, we'll let you know. But definitely thank you and welcome to the channel. We're hitting just I think it's about 40 subscribers shy of 2,000. So maybe we can hit that 2K mark by the end of the year. That would be great. If not, that's cool. But that would be a cool milestone that we think, because we've been at this for about 4 years now on the channel, I think, coming up on 4 years. So a lot of water under the bridge. And thank all of you, over 1,900 of you, for sticking with us in our particular brand of weirdness and our informational episodes and everything else that we do. We're glad that you're here, and we're glad to have you. Okay, let's see here. Zen is saying, yeah, that they have to be so far forward. Yes, Lavender System at 5 pieces of 9. Y'all make videos also. Yes, they do. They also have a channel, so go ahead and go over to check out their channel. They have a unique way of presenting their story and their things. A really cool method of collaging video and clips, or I'm sorry, audio clips and whatnot, along with still images. So yeah, everybody go over and check out 7 pieces of 9's channel. 5 pieces of 9's. We've been watching Voyager again, so sorry, 5. The 7 of 9 that's stuck in the head there. So yeah, go ahead and check out their channel for sure. Let's see here. 5 pieces of 9. Little's name is Luca, Marina, and Mist. Not sure if Mist is there. We will double check on that. So we have Luca, Marina, and Mist. We'll go ahead and we'll check the list there for you. I don't think Mist is on there already, but we'll double check. If not, she'll be on there anyway. So let's see. LinkedIn. Our host just calls us protectors now based on age, because ultimately he said we protected the system at every switch, just in different ways. Yeah, and that's perfectly that dead on the nose there. Let's see, Lavender System, story idea, if it exists, about how to make Christmas manageable. Last year we did a couple of videos on 5 tips to help systems get through the holidays, and one for systems and one for also system supports. So look for those in our content. We did 2 different videos on that last year. We'll see what we can come up with this year, but we did kind of cover some ground there on things that will help during the holiday season and tips specifically for you and also for any system supports, family members, or whatnot that you have as part of your your help team. So check that out, and we'll see if we can come up with some new stuff around Christmas time. But Rosemary first, and then after that, Percival. So unless Mimi wants to butt her nose in, but I think that she's been pretty quiescent lately, so I don't think we'll see anything more for her, at least this year. Let's see here. Yeah, you have just over 100. Yeah, you do. And see, you remember back when you were at 40 and then at 60, and we were like, see how you're going to grow? And sure enough, here you are. You keep doing your thing, like we keep saying. Let's see here. Somebody shares dreams with our host, and sometimes he dreams about us and tells us. Let's see here. 420 Witch been here with you guys since that. Well, dissociative drama and entropy leaving dissociative drama. Oh, the yeah, the Team Pinata thing. Uh-huh. Less said about that, the better. And entropy leaving YouTube. Yeah, we miss entropy system. We really did. Out of when we first were diagnosed, we went looking, like everybody else does, for just info. And I think we might have watched 1 or 2 of Dissociative's videos, but it just something was off and didn't click, or just it didn't speak to us. But we found the entropy system and multiplicity in me. Both of whom have moved on, but entropy system was the one that really kind of clicked with us and helped us to understand, at least, excuse us, what we were going through. So yeah, we miss entropy system and multiplicity and me, but they're out there doing their things. Multiplicity and me, we don't know if they fused or whatnot, but they did definitely move in. I think they're in the healthcare field, so congrats to them. And we're not sure what entropy system's doing. We hope that, Kai and Win and everybody, I think Andrew was the name of their mate. We hope that they're doing okay out there. If you're watching, hi. We miss you guys. Hope you come back at some point. But, if not, thank you very much. We're still kind of carrying the torch for you. Not like, like as in the light of helping out with DID, not, anyway, you know what we mean. So yeah, you've been here basically since the start of the channel, 420. You're one of our OG people. Let's see here. It's all good. Sometimes our protector considers herself 7 of 9. Yeah, best character. I mean, seriously, to come out of that show. We saw her transform from a simple system to a monetary system. Just our multiplicity. Me have reached functional multiplicity now. Okay, so it was functional multiplicity. Good. And yeah, they work in the mental health field. That is fantastic. Fantastic to see. We're glad that they're doing great. Let's see, Lavender System. Need to research how to keep littles entertained with something safe and engaging instead of setting them in front of the TV. Lavender System, if you have, no, wait, of course you have. You've seen Little Stories because you just gave us a name. Never mind. Yeah. It's kind of tough for us to give you feedback on that because unfortunately I suppress the littles a little, no pun intended, a little bit, and I do not let them out as much as I should. And again, this is the same thing with Rosemary. I'm not, it's weird, and I'm not still terribly comfortable with it. And a lot of it's a control thing. I don't like to surrender control of the front. I don't. It's where do I go when I'm not at front? Where, it's like, because for me, it's either it's a co-blended type of experience, like with me and Data, or the main A&Ps, or it's I'm gone and I'm back, which makes editing the others episodes kind of interesting because I don't remember any of it. It's like the last time that Mimi was out dropping all of that information, spilling the trauma tea, I think it's called. I had no idea what she said until I'm rewatching it, and then I'm going, "Oh my God, I can't believe you went there!" And it's like, you're putting me over a barrel here, child. So yeah, it's still not comfortable for me to surrender the front completely like that, even though I know that it's necessary. And I mean, it's not that we don't have stuff for them. I mean, I'm 2 feet away from here. I'm sitting, from Lincoln Logs in a chest full of Legos, but I have to get over myself and be willing to surrender the front in order for them to have time out. And I've been really bad about doing that. And This goes along with one of our current projects that we've been working on for the better part of the year, which is trying to schedule front time for everybody so that everybody gets their time out, and including the littles, to, do their thing, which we know will be better for the system overall. I know this, but I'm still fighting against it. And this is my Chris, the ANP here, slash core slash host, whatever you want to say. This is my own personal row to hoe, as it were. Let's see here. Let's see here. Going into the tunnel, so I'm going to drop signal, but hooray, I will not be late for work today, Zen. Good. Please be safe as you drive. Pia, hello. You're coming in just at the end of the stream, you silly person. Let's see here. Coloring, yes, absolutely. We don't know squat about raising kids. Laugh out loud. Never been a parent. Yeah, we've had 4, so at least we've got that for us. Century play finger painting or something like them. Yeah, some good ideas coming from you guys. Now, you see, this is what we love about you guys and the community that you're building here, is that you help each other out with all these tips and these tricks, or, without even being asked. It's a wonderful, heartwarming thing to see. So thank you guys for supporting each other. It's just really great to see. Oh, let's see. 2 good ideas. Yeah, absolutely. Best wishes on journey path. Pia is already coming in. Legos. That does sound like a good idea. Yeah, we've got. Oh my God, there's so many Legos in there. Our son, the one who's now adult and moved out, he had Legos throughout, so we saved them. So now I've got an entire chest full. Oh dear God, it took Christopher D probably better part of 3 weeks to organize the things. We've got these little, tool bin case things that you can, with dividers, that you can separate them out. And he sat there for the better part of 2 weeks separating the damn things out into their various shapes and sizes and whatnot. And it's like, ugh. We actually sat down, about 3 weeks ago, and started to build one of the models that were my son's, to see if we still had the parts to complete it. Got about 2/3 of the way through, only to discover we did not have the parts to complete it. So there's this half-finished TIE fighter thing sitting in the drawer there, but at least it gave us a little zen time when we needed it. Let's see here. Pia, exhausted from insomnia, so I'll be quiet, but wanted to say hello. That's okay. We're actually getting ready to close out the stream because we need to go eat. But we are pleased to see you. Definitely. Thank you for stopping in. Let's see. Mix some corn, water, flour, and food coloring makes good century play. The mix is hard when you're rough with it, but then gentle. Oh, yeah. That's like the old-fashioned Play-Doh that we used to make as kids. Yeah, with the little food coloring and the flour and whatnot. Yeah. Yes. Great boy. Memory from the background there. That's a great idea there, 420 Witch. Lavender system, yeah, no, it's totally understandable because we're terrified of letting our littles front. Yeah, it is. It's frightening, and unfortunately, I extend that to the others as well. It's like I said, it's something that we're personally working on. That I'm personally working on right now, speaking completely for myself, because Data's going, I don't have this problem. It's like, yeah, screw you, buddy. Must be nice not having basic emotions other than pride and irritation. I'm doing him a disjustice, but he's very dispassionate. Kind of like Joe Friday, just the facts, man. Erasable crayons, yes, that's a great idea. Woodworking has been turning into a super good anger vent. Really helps our anger holders vent, non-loud and discreditable. Cool. Let's see. Looks like we are caught up on the chat log. Pia, we wanted to spend more time with you, but we really need to go eat. My system friend, I plan on visiting her a couple of years. Gonna save much arts and crafts with littles. Yeah. We've got all the stuff. It's like we've replicated all the few toys that we used to have, and actually all those were over at our grandparents. We weren't really allowed to have toys at the house, and if we did the slightest thing, they got taken away from us and generally smashed with a hammer. Yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, breathe. So we have actually rebought the toys that we were familiar with, wooden blocks and Lincoln Logs and things like that. We actually didn't have Legos growing up because those were ungodly expensive. Um, but the one thing that we haven't been able to locate or get for ourselves yet is a set of old-fashioned Tinker toys, just a great big set of the old-fashioned Tinker toys. Before they had the yellow or the orange connector things, the actual wooden sets. And we've seen them on eBay a couple times. We may just have to break down and get ourselves a set of Tinker toys to complete the playthings. But then, of course, I still have to be willing to let the littles out to play with said toys. But it really does help. It's, for example, our grandfather was a firefighter, and so we had fire trucks when we were a kid. And we actually, when we were out at the store the other day, well, actually, this was about 2 months ago, we found in one of those little bins that they just have up by the registers, there was a little red fire truck, hook and ladder type thing. So it was an impulse grab where we're walking through, and all of a sudden Christopher goes, "Fire truck!" And it's like, okay, we'll get it. And so we keep that on our bedside table now, and it's brought a lot of comfort in amongst all the other hippos and things that we sleep with to keep him more or less quiescent at night. Logs, not thanks. Hand sewing. Oh, sorry, sawing logs with a handsaw is quiet and really allows them to blow off steam. We always used an axe back when we used to live in a more mountainous place. Lincoln Logs, Mecarno sets 2. Oh my God, the nostalgia. Yeah, we actually managed to find that at Goodwill. We found 2 great big containers of Lincoln Logs, which was more than we actually ever had as a kid. So those have been fun to play with because they're really easy. John likes to play with the Lincoln Logs, much to our surprise. On the few times that he's been out, he'll go and sit on the floor on the carpet by our wife, and he'll play with the Lincoln Logs and make little forts and whatnot, apparently. But that seems to be his favorite toy. Gotta let the others out so that they, can identify their own favorite toys. Christopher likes to color, I know that. Let's see, every time we go to bed without stuff, we always wake up with it regardless. So yay, passive influence. Yeah, exactly. We've got, let's see, we've got Mr. Tiger, we've got Betsy and Betsy, who are hippos. We have Big Hippo, we have Little Hippo, and then we have Mr. Dragon and Mr. Koala Bear. So they're all surrounding us by the pillow there. But it any little thing that will help to not have a nightmare or sleep paralysis or or things like that we'll take, no matter how ridiculous it may seem otherwise. Yeah, so there's that. Let's see here. Okay, guys, we are going to go ahead and close it out. Pia, I'm sorry we're catching you on the end here. Go ahead and rewatch the stream. We're just basically general chats and whatnot. That's a lot of mysteries. Yes, it is. Yeah, for whatever reason. Lots of plushies, but my favorite one is the one that happens to be the last soft toy my mom got me. Kind of a Velveteen Rabbit situation going on there. Yeah, we can understand that. We never had stuffies growing up, so it's kind of curious. Okay, other than the Betsy hippo that we did have, which was kind of freaky because we had bought the hippo for Betsy for our son, actually when he was a baby, and then going through after we were diagnosed, we were going back, or Data was going back through the family photo albums to look for evidence of abuse and things like that. And lo and behold, as we're a baby, here we have an exactly identical stuffed hippo. So that was kind of kind of a weird kind of a thing. It's like, synchronicity there. Okay, guys, we are going to go ahead and close out the stream because we are hungry. We got that grumbly in our tumbly, as Pooh Bear would say. So it's time for something sweet to eat. So thank you guys for tuning into the stream. Do we 5? We can't stop you, but it's every little bit helps, and we are grateful for for any support that we get from you guys. But do not feel obligated, and for God's sakes, if you need it for yourselves, we would much rather that you keep it. We're still not comfortable with the whole idea, but we know that you guys would love to send us stuff like via P.O. Box, so we had to compromise, as it was. But we're still fundamentally uncomfortable with the whole idea, but if you do decide to, we thank you very much. So there's your answer. It's in your ballpark. But take care of yourself first, please, everybody. It's not required. Okay, we're not in dire straits. We manage. We'll muddle through. So there's your answer. Let's see here. Why was that talking bear called the one you put in a tape? Chris, you'll know. I'm not. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It took me a second. Teddy Ruxpin. That's what you're thinking of, 420 Witch. That was Teddy Ruxpin, and he had a companion animal that worked in sync along with him called something. It was a caterpillar. We can't remember the name of it off the top of our head, but yeah, that you're thinking of Teddy Ruxpin. Enjoy the foods. Yeah. Lavender system has got it. Yeah, definitely. Okay, guys. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and go now. So thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Next up, you'll see Rosemary, but I absolutely promise. So as always, we're going to go ahead and remind you, say it with us, that you are loved, that you are strong, very strong, and that you are most definitely not alone. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and close it out. Happy Halloween, happy Samhain to those of you who celebrate it. And next up, you'll see Rosemary cooking or baking something. All right, guys, everybody have a great day. Self-care. Take care now. Bye-bye. If I can hit the button. There we go.